Okay, so I was an electrician for 25 years. In 2007, I actually lost my business, and I lost it due to there was two large contractors that we worked for who went out of business. And as a result of that, it affected the cash flow in my business. And making a long story extremely short, what happened was I struggled through for a long time until my financial advisor told me that I was running insolvent, so we had to shut the business down. It left me with no option but to start all over again with absolutely nothing, no money in the bank, no marketing or advertising assets or anything, and I had to start all over again. Which caused me to discover some really good, cheap and no-cost marketing tactics. Some of them were online and some of them were offline, but it meant that I had to rebuild the business starting again without any marketing budget. So I started to investigate all of the different aspects, everything from using Facebook, using YouTube, Twitter at the time was becoming quite big at that time as well. And sort of optimizing and maximizing what I could get out of the website as well, using, as I said, a lot of cheap and no-cost assets. So I rebuilt the business based on that, and what happened was along the way I realized that I'd actually learned quite a lot about marketing, and through working with a number of friends and colleagues, other people in the trades, plumbers, carpenters, a builder, and most notably a guy who sold PVC windows and doors, using some of the tactics and techniques that I was using in my business to rebuild my business, I discovered that it was able to help them build their business as well. That most tradesmen spend up to 4 years learning their trade, and at no point throughout that does anybody teach them how to market their business or how to grow a business or how to run a business. So they're all taught how to work with their hands, they're all taught how to do what they do extremely well. So you get really good, proficient tradesmen, but they have no clue on how to get customers, how to keep customers, or how to maximize the value of a customer. And yet, every single tradesman has an ambition to run his own business. If you talk to any apprentice going into the trades today, at the back of their mind, what they're believing or thinking is, eventually I will go on my own, I will work on my own, I will be self-employed. But there's nobody teaching them any business skills. One of the phrases or expressions you often hear in the trades, and I hate it, is that if you're any good at what you do, you don't need to advertise. And that is so wrong in this day and age. You know, let's go back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that might have been relevant when mum and dad stayed in the same area with the kids and auntie and uncle and brothers and sisters, and everybody stayed around the same area. So if you did a good job for dad, then there's every likelihood he would pass you to his brother, his sister, his mother, his uncle, his auntie, and so on and so forth. So you could build a business in that way. The world has changed. In this day and age, it's completely different. And unfortunately, the trades haven't developed with that world, because it's the same people who are teaching us to use our hands, these men who are teaching us to use our hands, still have that mentality of, if you're any good at what you do, son, you never need to advertise. You'll always have work through word of mouth. And it just, it perpetuates itself. So you have younger generations coming through, they've gone through the school system where perhaps they've learned some stuff about computers and social media and so on and so forth, but then they come out into the working world where they're spending 4 years with a guy my age, they're spending 4 years with a guy my age who probably, up until now hasn't seen a computer, or certainly hasn't used it for marketing benefits, for work-related benefits. It's an uphill battle, and it's a mindset issue, because of the way that they're being taught their trade. And I'm talking on behalf of electricians, but my guess is we're looking at the very same thing when we talk about builders, plumbers, carpenters, plasterers, you name it, locksmiths, right across the board. It's going to be the same mentality. What was clunky and technical many years ago, where you had to understand HTML code, where you had to sort of know your way around a computer, that's no longer a barrier, that's no longer an issue. Everything today is pretty much point and click, or plug and play, as they say. Yeah. Years ago, if I wanted to advertise in that media, on a video media, years ago, I would have to go to a TV studio. I'd have to create an advertisement. I'd go to an ad agency, have that submitted to a TV studio. You'd have gatekeepers in the way, either charging you money or barriers to entry. Today, I've got YouTube. I can record an advertisement or an advertorial or a piece of information. I can record it here, as we're doing today, and it can be online in minutes to the world. Now, as a local tradesman, you don't need it going to the world. You need it in your local area, and that's about optimizing the site, or optimizing your YouTube channel or the videos that you put up. So it's not as complicated as people think. And going back again to the question, it's their mindset that it's complicated. It's their mindset that it's an issue. And the reality is there's a lot that can be done quite easily. There's a number of organizations, like your own organization, there's a number of organizations out there that will help people to do this. And again, expense these days isn't an issue. There was a time where getting a website built would cost you thousands. Yeah. But it's not like that now. Now you can have a website built at a very reasonable price. Hosting is not as expensive as people may think it is. So you don't have to pay huge sums. You do have to pay something, but you don't have to pay the huge sums that people do. I'm all about low and no cost, okay? So my ethos, when I'm working with tradesmen, my ethos is start making money from your marketing, because for me it's all about, it's about positioning and marketing your brand, yeah? Marketing yourself locally. So initially, I will tell people to start off where you don't have to spend a lot of money, or you don't have to spend any money. A lot of people, when they first start out in business, if they do have a website, they tend to instantly pay a fortune for the website and a fortune for SEO, when the reality is that there's a lot in terms of SEO that they can be doing to help themselves before they pay an SEO expert. And is there a place for SEO experts? Absolutely, there is. But the thing is, it doesn't need to be the day you start business. As I said, there's a lot of things in terms of online that you can do yourself, and then once you're earning from that, invest in yourself and get somebody who knows to help you. I did a workshop last week in Guildford, and I had in the room, there was 20 people in the room, and one of the guys had just finished having his website built. He paid £6,000 to have it built, and when I asked him how much work he'd got from it, zilch, nothing, which is ridiculous considering that there are other people who were in that same room who'd had a website built and were having these things hosted for about £35 a month, there or thereabouts, and they're getting 3 to 4 inquiries a week off of them. So it's not the huge, you don't need a huge investment to do it. You don't need a huge amount of knowledge to do it. There's a lot you can do yourself, and there are a lot of organizations out there that can help you as well. People will forgive the technicalities if the information is good. So YouTube, do it. Get up there and put videos out on YouTube, because it will make you stand out, head and shoulders above people. There's almost a cultural reason behind that as well. We're programmed to believe that people who appear on camera are experts, yeah? So we're programmed to believe that, somewhere back in our psyche, this is how we react. So when you see somebody delivering a piece to camera, when you see somebody on YouTube giving some good content, some good information, you tend to look up to that person to an extent, and you're more likely to interact with them on a business level because you believe they know what they're doing. And the truth is, there are other people, other tradespeople in their area who know as much and perhaps more than them, but they've been prepared to do what I call put their head above the parapet. They've been prepared to stand up and get noticed.